CPM, the critical path method, it is an effective tool for scheduling and planning. A man using CPM can understand how parts of project should fit together and be able to do two things. So CPM focuses more on, I told you, the CPM focuses more on operation, activity. Respert gives importance to an event, right? So CPM focuses on activity. So he should be able to understand how he is going to integrate the project and get his things done. First, you have to analyze graphically that how the different parts of project can fit in and test the logic for the proposed solution. Okay. Secondly, using the network diagram, you can demonstrate the way in which the project is going to do and expedite the actual doing of the work. So first thing is he will use these network diagram and see what are the critical parts and how he's going to help in the completion of project without any delay. So CPM is a route between two or more operations which minimize or maximize some performance. So CPM is going to minimize or maximize some performance. It is also defined as a sequence of activities which will require greatest normal time to accomplish. That is, in the critical path, in the sequence of activities, longest durations are singled out. So you find the critical path. In the critical path, you see that you have a lot of activities which are going to have long duration. You are going to completely avoid them, and it is called as critical path because any delay in activities lying on the spot will delay the entire project. So you focus on those single activities which are along the critical path, which is going to take a longer amount of time. Because if you don't address those activities, that is going to delay the entire project. Entire project is going to be delayed. So critical path is that sequence of activities which determine the total project time is proportional to the critical path. So understand project time, what you estimate for completion is proportional to the critical path. So if you want to quicken the completion of project, you have to first focus on the critical path activities. Non-critical path activities can have some delay. That delay is called as slack or float here, but that is not going to affect the final completion of the project because the activities in the critical path alone has to be given prior importance in CPM. The slacked activities should be given priority in terms of their float values. So slack is going to be the time delay, and float is going to be the delay value actually. The objects of CPM, the main objectives of CPM are find obstacles and difficulties involved in the production process. So find what is stopping you from doing the production. So assign time for each activity or operation. Assign time. Decide about the starting and finishing time of the work. So decide when you are going to start the finishing time, starting and finishing time of your work. Advantages of CPM. So it is very helpful in finding out the time schedule. With its aids, control by the management is made easy. So management looking at the project becomes very simple when you use CPM. Better planning is possible and detailed planning is also possible because you are going to focus on the critical path, which is going to delay your project. So it provides standard method for communicating project plans, schedules, times, and cost performance. So it gives a complete estimate of all these things. It identifies the most critical elements and thus more attention to be paid to these activities. Limitations of CPM. So the CPM fails to use statistics. Statistics is used only but CPM I don't use statistics because for estimating time you need to use the statistics. So it is difficult to use CPM as controlling devices for the simple reason that one must repeat the entire evaluation of the project each time when changes are introduced into the network. So when you don't estimate time, when something is getting delayed, you have to completely evaluate the project again when the changes are going to happen. It may be remembered that CPM was initially developed as static planning model and not a dynamic control device. It is completely static because I am not predicting or doing anything. So it is completely